Was it always your plan to start your own business? When you kind of got into the property management world, did you know that, hey, I want to get into this to start my own business? Kind of give me a start of kind of where you started and then how it came to be where you owned your own business.
It wasn't my plan to originally start my own company. I actually started as a part-time leasing specialist.
Okay.
And just grew from full-time leasing, assistant manager, and then it wasn't until I became a regional manager and I took more ownership in the properties. Because then I understood what it meant to run a business, because when you run a property, especially as a regional level, you are running a business. So then I had my own vision of what it would take to run a property management company, and that's when I started it.
Okay. What exactly, you said you gained a lot of your insight when you became a regional manager. Can you kind of, what exactly does a regional manager do for those who might not be in the property management world?
What you have as a regional manager is you have multiple properties. So you have on-site managers, so you might have 5, 6, 7, as many as 8 properties. So as a regional manager, you're overseeing what I say each business. Each property is a business. It can be a multi-million-dollar business, from a $5 million property to a $30 million property. And you have to run the operating expenses, everything that entails to run that property. You're running an entire team of employees. You're running all your vendors. You might be doing a rehab, new construction, and it's really running, each property is a business itself. So regional manager, you're running maybe 6 to 8 businesses.
Wow.
So, as an owner of a property management company, I have, invested my regional managers with a lot of authority, obviously, to run these properties to become profitable.
Okay.
The bottom line is to make money for the owners.
And let's see, I'm going to kind of go from a little bit of a different angle here. As a business owner in property management, have you ever felt like you might have been ever treated differently, maybe because you're a woman in the power position versus a man? And if so, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
I think most people expect women to run property management. So I don't think I've been treated any differently as far as the property management end of it. I think where I've been treated differently from a perspective is maybe when I had a lease-up property, when it was under construction or rehab, or something that was more difficult than the day-to-day property management. Not that day-to-day property management is easy, but I think most owners expect and respect women in that position. I think when it becomes more in depth as far as when they maybe refinance a property and it becomes into financial questions or that type of thing, I have felt that they would maybe have felt more comfortable with a man in some sort of circumstances, really in those situations. Construction, new construction, where you're dealing with a lot of general contractors and contractors, and they look to a man for those answers,
yes,
as opposed to a woman. So there has been times that I think it's been more challenging because I'm a woman in the business.
So when it's kind of not really focused on property management, but more focused on the idea of starting a property from scratch, and like you said, dealing with the construction and the general contractors, that's when you might have felt that they might have been a little wishy-washy towards you just because you were a woman and they were expecting a man. Is that correct?
Yes, because I think some businesses are really still generated toward all men, like construction. Most construction companies, general contractors are still all men. A lot of companies, electricians, HVAC, plumbing, they're owned by men for the most part. So I think when you're dealing with that particular trades, as opposed to that, but you're, for the most part, you're dealing with mostly men, so they feel like they're going to be dealing with men. So I think they've been surprised at times that, a woman is running a property management company. So I feel like that's, been a surprise sometimes for them, and but it's worked out well, over the years. So I think once they speak with me and meet with me, then I think their doubt of, that I can do it and answer their questions, goes away pretty quickly.
Well, girl power.
Exactly.
So how long have you been in your current position as the owner of Horizon Realty Management?
I started Horizon in 2001, actually just about 2 months after 9/11. So it was challenging because I already had it in the works to start the company in July. Of course, 2 months later, 9/11 hit, and wasn't sure with everything in the economy and what was going to happen. I did start the company in November of 2011, and I still have some employees that work for me today that was with me at that time. I'm proud to say so.
Now, basically, what is some advice that you would give to somebody considering maybe starting their own business, or trying to break into the property management world, as far as just some general advice you could give, maybe like some day-to-day advice or maybe long-term advice? What would be some good advice? What kind of keeps you level-headed every day with how you run your business? What's the best advice you could give somebody trying to get into this?
I would have to say really just a lot of passion. And I think the people that I hire, I always tell people that we manage it like we own it. So just the passion that we have with each employee, whether it's from the on-site employees to my corporate staff, my team here, they manage it like they own it. Don't just manage an asset or a property, because we don't just do apartments. We also have condos, retail, and office. So just depending on what we manage, if you manage it with a lot of passion and you care about it, it's going to show in your day-to-day job. So you really need to love it, and you need to like to come to work and enjoy it, and that will show in what kind of job you do. So in everything that you do, passion is the key. You must love it and care about it.